Hi, baby boomer fans. We are Jackie and Janine, the Pfeiffer sisters, and love to talk about the 1950s, inviting you to reminisce with us as we explore experiences of that decade. Grab your favorite malt or Green River. Make sure you are wide awake and get ready to be inspired about the 1950s. Welcome to the 1950s Fun Chat. Hello, everyone. Number 245, 1950s Fun Chat. Very fun nuggets of information, of history from that recent time, really, in the 1950s. And Jackie, we've talked with people from all over the United States. They might have been urban folks. They might have grown up in the city. It doesn't matter. We love to hear their story about the 1950s.
Yes, and hello everyone. Welcome back or welcome to the first time if you have never seen this Fun Chat. We would like to invite you to look at the lower part of the screen where you see www.whilethewindmillwatch.com. Would you please go there for all sorts of information about the book, which is up in the corner of your screen, the book which kicked off the 1950s Fun Chat. It's called While the Windmill Watched, a Slice of Rural America in the 1950s. So at our website, you'll find much information about the book and about the Fun Chats, all the previous Fun Chats. You'll also find out where the vendors are. We have 49 vendors where you can purchase the book. And then as the screen comes on, the first thing you'll see is the book and also where you can purchase it by mail. And that would be from North Dakota State University Bookstore. So it also tells you where Janine and I might be speaking, and much more information that you never knew you wanted to know. So let's get going. So today we're going to hear now the name of an unassuming farming ranching family and how it's etched into the history of the Missouri River as it underwent a significant environmental and historical shift in the 1950s due to the completion of the Garrison Dam in 1953. The dam was constructed to provide flood control, hydroelectric power generation, irrigation, and navigation improvements along the Missouri River. This affected many towns and farms and people for the better good of no flood and more generation, etc. So the name of the family is Kimball, and we will hear from a descendant. His name is John Kimball. John was born in a private home in Bismarck, North Dakota in 1936. He attended country schools south of there in the Moffit area and then attended Bismarck High School and graduated in 1955. He began further education at North Dakota Agricultural College, which is now North Dakota State University in Fargo, enrolled in an ag short course. However, that course was truly short as he was drafted into the U.S. Army, where he served from 1957 to 1959. He married Audrey Small in 1961. She passed away 20 years ago. Until retirement, John continued his family's career of farming and ranching. He becomes a snowbird during the winter, though. So, John, we welcome you to the 1950s Fun Chat.
Yes. Hi, John.
Hi.
Okay, the Garrison Dam construction in the early 1950s permanently altered the Missouri River's flow. Regulation of the river led to the formation of the distinct sandbars and desert dunes that define Kimball Bottoms recreation area today. So when and how did the Corps of Engineers acquire over 400 acres from your family?
Well, it wasn't the Garrison Dam. It was the Hawaii Dam at Pierre, South Dakota that backed up the water to Bismarck.
Mm-hmm. The Oahu. Mm-hmm.
See, because between the Bismarck and the Garrison Dam, that's still private land, the river bottoms.
Okay.
But, well, it just changed our operation completely because we didn't have room for cattle anymore. So
sure,
that's why I live in Emmons County now.
And back then, how much lead time did you have in knowing that your land was going to be totally changed in presentation, you might say?
Well, we probably had 2 or 3 years because they started negotiating in South Dakota, buying land, and they bought as they got closer to Bismarck was the later years.
Okay.
I think in 1963 is when they finally bought ours.
And prior to that, I understand that on the Missouri River, and this would have been maybe 2 generations ahead of you, did the riverboats have something to do with the Kimball Bottoms at that time?
The riverboat, you say?
Yes.
Well, no.
Okay.
There was steam or paddle boats on the river that my dad told me about.
Okay.
They lived right on the river in Emmons County. And my granddad ran a post office, the Glencoe Post Office, in a stage stop when my dad was younger.
Okay.
And I own the land up to that now. It's actually where the post office was. The Corps of Engineers own it, bought it too.
Oh, okay.
It's part of the land that where I live now.
Okay. And tell me, what was the address of that post office then that the Corps of Engineers bought up?
Well, it was Glencoe Stage Stop.
Oh.
Isn't that right, Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Karen's reading the book.
good. We're glad she's there.
Well, we had an older lady in the neighborhood, and she wrote this book, and Karen said she don't have it. I brought it along. She's looking at it.
Okay. So was the Glencoe Stage Stop close to the Glencoe Church that's still there?
It's about a mile.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then there was a hotel about less than a half a mile north of where the stage stop was.
Okay.
And then up on the hill, there was a dance hall and community hall. And then there was a church. So Glencoe was about a mile long or a little better.
Okay.
There was
So
only
would you?
4 places. So
Okay, and so the church is the church the only one that is still standing and being used today?
right, yeah, the church is the only thing left.
So
Okay.
at this Glencoe Stage Stop, were there teams of horses that were changed there? Were refresher teams come on at that stop?
That's right. My granddad kept the horses, and there was a guy by the name of John Eastwood, and he lived south and east of the Glencoe Church,
Okay.
and he was a stagecoach driver.
Oh.
And he would drive from Bismarck, I think, to Lavona, or maybe he just drove as far as Glencoe, and then he went home. And I think Dad said it would come about every 3 days or so, the stage.
And so where was the stage destination was Bismarck?
Well, it started in Bismarck and it went down to I think about South Dakota line, probably down to Winona, and that was close to south of Strasburg down there someplace.
And was that the only type of transportation then that public transportation that people had at that time?
I would think so.
Okay, so no train, no railroad tracks at that time.
That was for the railroad tracks. That was my granddad was there in 1908.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm so glad he shared that story with you.
What's that?
I'm so glad he shared that story with you.
Oh, okay.
I love the enthusiasm, John.
That stopped at Glencoe?
I think it was Lavona stage coach, but this was the Glencoe stop. And then there was one at Lavona and Winona. It stopped at Stewartsdale.
And that's north of the church.
Stewartsdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's up in Burley County, by Browns.
So it wasn't a Glencoe stage route, it was a Lavona stage route.
Is that what the book says?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There we are. We got that right.
Oh, good.
But it was the Glencoe post office.
Okay.
Huh. So I'd like to throw another term in here. Was talking, and that is bottoms. Perhaps some people don't know what bottoms refers to. Bottoms refers to low-lying, fertile land adjacent to a river. So how did the alteration of the river change the productivity of the area that was first farmed by your great-grandfather, from when he was using it to what it is today? The bottoms.
You probably don't want to hear my opinion.
Well,
but the Corps engineers owned it, and they turned it over to the Game and Fish. And the Game and Fish plugged all drainage ditches and stuff where we drained lower land so we could make it productive. And it is pretty much, the trees have all died, most of them.
Yeah.
And it's growing up to rushes. And there's very little wildlife in it. And it's walking excess only. So nobody but young, healthy people can actually, and they've fenced off a lot of places where people used to be able to drive up and fish from the river and stuff.
So now if these people are walking there through this trail, does that trail lead directly to the Missouri River?
Well, it can. It depends, I mean, I'm 25 miles from Bismarck, and they own the land from Bismarck here to Pierce, South Dakota. So there's a lot of trails, and there's places it's easier to get to. They do have boat ramps and stuff, but
This was maybe a couple years ago. We recorded a 1950s fun chat with a gentleman named Jerry Martins, and he's now passed on, but he lived in Iowa, but told about his grandparents coming up to south central North Dakota in the late winter, early spring. And then he said when the weather got to be, it was colder weather, that's when the people from that area, and they were Germans from Russia, would go to the Missouri River and harvest wood to bring back. Might that have been in your area with cottonwood trees?
Well, yeah, there was a lot of cottonwood trees. And when after the Corps bought it, in my area, they flooded it, and it killed a lot of trees, and a lot of people cut wood for quite a few years, and then they finally cut them off because something about some bird or something didn't have any place to nest or something, so they couldn't they couldn't cut wood anymore. Well, then the trees fell down and they all floated into shore. So
goodness.
So today in that area, is it primarily for hiking and hunt and fishing, if you can get to it, and water recreation?
That's about it.
Okay. And with the Oahe Dam in South Dakota and that water backing up to the Bismarck area, do you know how that might have tied in with the building of the Garrison Dam in North Dakota?
Well, it was just, I guess they built it for electricity, and
sure.
That was, but then it turned into a lot of, I think, more recreation than electricity, because a lot of times they don't even run their generators if they got enough wind power and burn coal. I've heard.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Yeah.
So let's move on to another topic, and that is, how did World War II affect your family? What do you remember about that time when you were a young guy?
Well, I remember the rationing, where you only got so much sugar, and gas stamps, and tires were hard to get. I know my dad had a end-wheel drill, which pretty much everybody did, and he got a steel wheel someplace.
Oh, sure.
And when he wasn't using it, neighbors would come and borrow it, the wheel, put on their drill. And then I know cars were hard to get. Well, they didn't make any in 1943, I think. They didn't. There was no cars made, I think.
Was that when the Ford Motor Plant turned its production all over to making what it was necessary for the war?
Well, I probably was, yes.
Okay. I thought that I had read that somewhere, but anyway, it's very interesting to visit with someone who knew of that in that time.
So there was rationing of food and other items. What did you do in your family? Was there a victory garden? Did you save wire? Did you save string? Did you save aluminum if you had it, or anything like that?
Well, not that I recall.
Okay.
I don't think we had aluminum. I think it was mostly in cans.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I remember Mom always talking about was that's when chewing gum would come in tin foil, and she'd always, even after the war, even when we were little children in the 50s, she'd say, well, save that. So we had a collection of it. I don't know what she ever did with it, but she saved it.
Made it into a ball.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You probably don't remember Jack Lyon's restaurant in Bismarck, do you?
Oh, yes, we do.
Remember the big ball of string he had?
Well, Mom and Dad never allowed us to eat there. So
okay. That was the best hamburger. That was the best hamburger in town.
The smell in downtown Bismarck was wonderful.
Right.
Of those onions, I can still smell it.
So he must have saved string because it was big.
Wow. Do you know whatever happened to that ball of string?
No, I don't know that place disappeared in the late 50s, early 60s, I think. I don't know.
Yes.
That's when they Go ahead.
There were some memorable businesses from the 50s in downtown Bismarck.
Yeah.
And that was certainly one of them for me anyway, even though we didn't get to eat there.
Do you know the reason? You don't have to say it right now.
No,
because this is his show.
Yes. No, I don't. But John, did you eat there quite a bit?
Oh, not a lot, but when I was in high school, I used to go have a hamburger there.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So did you drive a car to high school when you were in high school?
Did I what?
Did you have your own car to drive, or
when I was a freshman, I lived in town with a neighbor lady that had moved to town. Her husband had died. She had a house on 6th Avenue C.
Okay.
And then when I was a sophomore, I drove until about the first of the year, and then my sister and another girl, and the other girl's cousin, we lived there till about March, I think, or I did. Then I drove the rest of the time. And then when I was a junior and senior, there was a place we called The Hole, and it was Mrs. Mayer they were from Moffit, and their grandson lived with them upstairs, but Reuben and Paul Day, Don Smith, and I, and then later there was Kenny Boyd and Albert Anderson. We had rooms there, and I would stay there in the wintertime, but the rest of the time I drove.
Where the lady in whose home you were staying, did you need to help her with certain chores when you lived there?
No, her husband was still alive.
Okay.
And of course, her grandson lived upstairs with them. And then they had a son in Bismarck too.
Are any of those gentlemen you named still living?
I'm the only one left, I think.
Okay.
I know I am.
Yes.
So another topic here.
You probably knew this. Did you know the Smiths?
No.
Harry Smith?
That name doesn't ring a bell.
They lived just west of you on Apple Creek.
Okay. So no, I'm sorry, we didn't know them.
Okay.
No.
If they're more than likely, if their children didn't come to Minokan in grade school or didn't do business in Minokan or come to the square dances or whatever, we might not.
Or if the children were not in 4-H.
I
Yeah.
think they had a summer school where they lived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, tell us about the Moffit Mudcats. In which
Yes.
you were a long-time member. What a name. What's the-
Well, when they built a new hall, I think in 1954,
I'll get the
and
book.
I know Karen's husband and his brother, they had a team and they played there. Then we got out of high school in 55, there was 3 of us played with them, but I think Robert and Bill Jr., Boozy we called him, they were in the service.
Uh,
And
what
Then
what
we-
kind of team was this?
a basketball team.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then we had then Irwin Bailey. He was local there at Moffit. He played, and then I don't think there was a team until 1960, and we all got together. And Karen's husband Robert and Reuben Day and Jim and Jack Adams and Daryl Sorensen from Driscoll. There was so, and then in 1961, Marv Dutt started playing with us. He was a good athlete from Bismarck. And the teams used to come out from Bismarck. And in 1963, I think, they only had 5 teams in Bismarck. So they invited us to join the City League in Bismarck. And we played there until probably close to in the 90s, I think.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
So John, this was an amateur basketball team, semi.
Yeah, amateur.
Okay.
We would play teams like Linton, Napoleon. We'd go as far as Cleveland,
Uh-huh.
down by Jamestown,
Uh-huh.
and Medina, wherever there was a game.
Where would these games be played? Was it in school gymnasiums or in town halls or where?
Well, Moffit had it. They built a community hall in the late 50s or early 50s. That's where we played there. And I think Napoleon, I think they had a hall, but the rest of them was usually the schools.
Okay. How did the name Mudcats come about?
Well, it's the hall is right on the shores of the Long Lake,
Mhm.
and a lot of times when that's low, there's a lot of mud hens, and
Oh, okay.
because it's not a very deep lake,
Mhm.
so there's a lot of mud.
Sure, sure. Did you have scheduled basketball practices, or how did you all organize to become the great team that you were?
Well, we practiced. Sometimes we'd play 4 or 5 times a week in the wintertime.
Oh my goodness.
during the
Yes.
season. That was mainly feed the cows and go play basketball.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
Well, once in a while, somebody would stop at the bucket.
Did you-
About the bucket?
You don't know about the bucket?
No, tell us about it.
Tell us.
The bar in Moffit?
Oh,
Well, yeah, that's the only business left in Moffit.
is that right?
Still open 4 days a week, I guess I heard.
And what's it called?
Bucket?
Well, they called it the Bloody Bucket because there used to be fights, but
Oh my goodness.
it don't say Bloody Bucket anymore. It just says the bucket.
So what are these fights? Tell us about that.
Well, once Saturday night, everybody went to town, and of course they would get the party and somebody would get sore at somebody. And so they,
Have a fight.
it happened in all little towns, I think.
Oh,
Not just there. But,
It sounds like the old West days.
well, it was. I remember you'd go in, everybody would usually had a cream can or something. They would take one in on Saturday and pick their other one up. They shipped it on the Sioux line,
Yes.
the railroad. I think I got my granddad's 5-gallon cream can, says Magnus on it. That was the first stop on the Sioux line out of Bismarck.
Oh, it was. Huh?
Magnus. Interesting.
And then there was Stewartsdale.
Yeah.
And then there's Britain here where Karen lives.
Yes.
And then there was Moffit. And then there was Dana and Braddock. From there on, I don't know what I suppose Napoleon after Braddock. No, maybe Tenvick and then probably Braddock.
And all those little places are just totally gone. Would that be correct?
Right. At Stewartsdale, there's guys got a body shop there in the house. But and I think there's still remnants of the Krells at Magnus.
Of the Krells, you said?
Well, Krells, that's how they ship their livestock.
Yeah.
And then
And
they had those dipping
bats.
events too, where when the cattle got lousy back in the, that's the only way they had to take care of the lice. They would run them through them dipping vats.
Were those corrals put up there by the Sioux Railroad, or were they locally owned?
No, I think the Sioux owned them. Right.
Okay. And anyone could ship there?
Right.
Road there?
As far as I know, they could.
Before those cattle were loaded on the cars, did they all have to go through a dipping vat?
I don't think if they weren't determined that they were lousy, they didn't have to. No.
Okay. And at that time, would there have been branding? So was there a brand inspector there, and who had to make sure that the cattle were with the right owners?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I know there was branding because there's been branding forever. But,
sure. Yes. Did you ever ship? Did your family ever ship out of that?
Well, I think my granddad and my dad did.
Yes. Yes. Was it only cattle that shipped there, or did they trail sheep there?
Oh, I would imagine they did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, John, is there anything that you might that comes to mind concerning your time in the Army? Where were you stationed? What did you do, and etc.? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I took my basic training in Colorado. And I was in Georgia for 4 months. And I spent 16 months in France. And I guess I got out at Fort Sheridan in Chicago.
So what did you do while you were in France? What were your duties?
Well, we were on a POL dump where the ships came in, Saint Nazaire, and they unloaded petroleum. We had tank farms, and one of my jobs was to be on the ship when it was empty. I had to inspect it, make sure all the fuel was out. And I run a switch engine when we put tanks on the railroad. We filled tankers, get them pushed out, and then I drove a lot of truck when I wasn't doing that.
So do you think, what characteristics did you develop on the farm that served you well in the service?
Oh, I guess just put up with, when you're on the farm, you work whether it's hot or cold or whatever, and I guess you learn to put up with adversity, and if there's things you didn't like about the Army, you just did it. You knew it was going to be over.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. John, did your family tell us about your ranching experience as the family back in the 50s?
Well, we actually, a lot of our pasture land was in the river bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's different than ranching where I'm at now. But
And how is it different?
well, you didn't have to have barns or anything. You had a lot of protection.
Okay, sure.
And there was always water because
Mm-hmm.
as the river moved, which it did, that created sloughs. And so there was always water in the low spots.
Mm-hmm.
Did your herd size change after the Missouri River changed, or after the Corps of Engineers came in and took over?
Well, after my dad died in '67, he liked to farm and I didn't.
Oh,
So I raised mostly feed, and I did increase the herd about double or triple, I guess.
What
okay.
did you have?
At Herefords.
Okay. Were they horned Herefords then?
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Cool.
That's
I bought several bulls from Karen's husband, Robert.
Uh-huh. Yes. And from what I remember Karen saying, one of the great traits about their Hereford herd was that of their disposition.
Well, yeah, they are easier than some breeds to handle.
Did you ever want to show cattle at the North Dakota Winter Show, or have your cattle, your steers, your heifers be purchased by 4-H'ers who might want to show them?
No, I sold several heifers that people made cows out of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Well, it's a great industry to be a part of.
Well, I always enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Anything else you'd like to share about the 50s? Now that your thought processes are going, did something come up that you
I've
want?
probably told you everything I know.
Well, thank you for that.
Yes. So we understand we're jumping ahead a number of years here. We understand that you still play 18 holes of golf every week.
Yeah, I do. It's getting to be quite a chore.
Do you ride? I'm assuming you ride a golf cart rather than walk.
We ride golf cart.
Uh-huh.
And there's another guy that rides with me. He's only 87, so
Oh.
we get a flag so we can drive wherever we want to drive.
They let you on that course without a license. That's a wonderful. Keeps the mind and the body moving. Having that social interaction as well as the physical.
Did you have someone teach you how to play golf, or did you just learn it by osmosis?
So I just hacked away until I could golf a little.
Okay. Do you have the same set of golf clubs that you played with when you first learned how?
Well, I never started golfing until I was 60.
Okay. Yeah, just a youngster.
I won't have been golfing 30 years.
Okay.
And still improving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it up. Well, tell us nowadays, John, what are you involved with on your, would you consider your farm or your ranch, or how would you label your home?
Well, it's a ranch, I guess. And my nephew rents it. And they bring cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to put some in 2-3 times this year. But then I mow my yard and stuff like that. Just kind of keep it up.
Sure. Do you have outbuildings, cattle loafing sheds, or that type of thing that you need to keep up as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's 3 pole barns and a barn, and then there's a machine shed and a shop.
Okay. Yes. Do you have what will happen to your farmstead in the future?
Well, I have sold. Lee has been paying me rent for the last 20 years or more. So I sold him half interest in it, and with the right of survivorship. And he'll probably outlive me, so that'll be his problem.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all your insight.
Yes, yes. John, I think we've exhausted our questions for you. We are so grateful that you took the time to chat with us, and we're so grateful for Karen's help in setting up the computer and coaching you from the side. It's been a great teamwork, a bit of teamwork today as we visited with you. So keep on keeping on, buddy. You're doing great.
Okay, thank you. It's good talking to you.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And those who are watching us, please look at those subscribe button. Look at the subscribe button and the thumbs up button, and do join us for another 1950s fun chat. And tell your friends and even your relatives about this 1950s fun chat. Till next time, toodaloo.
Bye-bye. Bye, John.